All right, Infernal Blessings, we are back with another video. All right, before I begin, a couple quick announcements. 8th annual Journey of the Black Adept Conference. You can sign up now. You can attend it either live or in person or virtually. The event will take place October 30th to November 2nd here in Hollywood, Florida. 4-day event, meet and greet, opening ritual on Thursday evening, the 30th. And then on Halloween, spooky. Let me stop. That's going to be a great day. On Friday and Saturday, same itinerary as far as schedule-wise, classes and workshops and presentations from 9 to 4. We convene and come back later in the evening for a group ritual and a group dinner afterwards. But man, that first night, which we do that big ritual, to do it on the 31st is going to be vainglorious. That's all I can tell you. It's going to be fun. And then Sunday we close the conference out with a question and answer session from noon to 4 p.m. We got some great presentations lined up. We're getting ready to put it all together. We got some good presenters. Looking forward to seeing returning people and seeing new people. So if you want to sign up for the event, shoot me an email, khnum19@gmail.com. You can sign up virtually also. Just in the email, specify which one you want information on. So shoot me an email at khnum19@gmail.com, and I'll send you that information. Also, if you're interested in a spiritual reading or a consultation, I offer various different types of readings. Clepothic demonic readings, Egyptian oracle readings, Santa Muerte readings, shadow work readings, which is always a great reading to do to kind of see what you got going on currently around you and in your life. Deity readings to see what gods, goddesses, demons, and spirits walk with you. Or maybe you're just interested in a spiritual consultation. You got a bunch of questions you want to ask. You need some insight or information on a particular situation or something on the occult, left-hand path, or something personal going on in your life. Any of the aforementioned, just shoot me an email at khnum19@gmail.com. Please include in that email your full weekly availability along with the time zone that you live in, and we will get a time and a day that works for both of us. All right. Also, don't forget to check out the Primordial Chaos Patreon page at patreon.com/Baniti, Baniti, and join Tier 3. That's going to give you access to the 3 private classes I do every month on Patreon, including the group ritual we do together at the end of the month. Also, keep in mind when you join, it also gives you access to everything in the archives, not just from the day you join moving forward. You got access to 6 years worth of content, classes, books, all types of resources, rituals, classwork, group work. If you want to take that occult spirituality to that next level, this is it. Tier 3, patreon.com/Baniti, Baniti. And go to the collection section when you go to the Patreon page. You will see the current ongoing classes with new classes being added on a regular basis. Trust me, you'll be busy for years. No exaggeration. And nobody's offering what I'm offering for, or what I'm offering for the price that I'm charging. It is beyond reasonable. And I say that with confidence, not arrogance, because I stand firm on what it is I do. And you guys have given me feedback to support that. All right, patreon.com/Baniti, Baniti. Tier 3 is the tier you want to join. Also, don't forget to check out the social media pages, Primordial Chaos 9, all one word on Instagram, Primordial Chaos, 2 words on Facebook, primordialchaos.com 3 on TikTok. That's the best place to stay abreast of all the current classes, announcements, updates, events, anything that's going on here at Primordial Chaos. Subscribe to those platforms. I post everything on there in addition to right here in the community section on the YouTube page. Everything is listed, classes, events, etc. Also, don't forget to check out the Primordial Chaos podcast. It's available on Spotify and all major podcast platforms. You can now listen to these classes while you're about the house, running, exercising, jogging in your car. When you just want to pop on the MP3 versions of these classes, you can do that now by supporting the Primordial Chaos podcast. All right. Also, as the day of this recording, which today is July 20th, 2025, I will be posting. We have a hip-hop occult show coming up this weekend. I know we've been gone for several months, but we'll be back on track with that this weekend. So look for that post to come. All right, so in addition to anything I just mentioned, the contact link for my email address to reach out to me for a reading or a consultation, the direct link to the podcast, the social media pages, and the Primordial Chaos Patreon page to sign up for classes. All of those links are in the description box of this video that you're watching right now. All right, you see the title, Occult Realms and Realities, right? This was inspired, so last night it just popped up in my feed. I didn't know that the second season, the new season of the Sandman is available on Netflix. And you heard me talk about the first season, which was out a couple of years ago, I think right around or right towards the end of the pandemic in 2021, I believe, or maybe it was 22, somewhere in that area. So to my surprise, I was looking for something to watch last night. I don't get a lot of free time to watch TV. There's so many things I want to watch. I got saved in my favorites, probably like a bunch of us. I probably will never get around to watching half of it. So the timing was right last night. I said, let me go into my Netflix. Let me see what I got in my favorite box. And boom, what's on the home screen? The new season of The Sandman. Watch this, people. Now, I've only watched the first 2 episodes. I'm going to start watching episode 3 later tonight moving forward. So, but in the very first 2, I can tell you, the amount of information dropped is insane. If you've watched the entire first season, now if you hadn't watched the first season, go back and watch the first season. The Sandman, or who, we heard Mr. Sandman, who bring me, we've all heard that song, right? It's funny, my favorite reliever and one of my favorite players of all time, Mariano Rivera, used to enter the game for the Yankees with the song from Metallica, The Sandman. Because it's over. The Sandman, takes you to Dreamland. They used to play Metallica, The Sandman, every time he entered the game. Now, we always told his kids the mythological story of the Sandman is the individual that controls the dream realm, puts you to sleep, or when it's time to enter that state of sleep or realms. Now, obviously, the Sandman series, if you've been watching it, it really goes in depth into creating your own realities. The power of the astral realm, going through the astral gates via your dreams, and they're dropping science. I don't want to give away too much because I want you to watch it, but there's some stuff I got to speak on. It's crazy. There's the first 2 episodes focus on, they call him the Dream Man. Obviously, Sandman, if you've watched it, one of his names, he's known as the Dream Man. And he is basically the harmonizer or the balancer between hell, the spiritual realms, or what one would call heaven, and the mortal realms in between. And the crazy thing is he's responsible for keeping harmony and balancement. Now, I find it very interesting in this first one, you see he has an affection, for a queen who's called Queen of the First People. And they just so happen to be African, and she's an African queen, not a coincidence. It's also showing you the fine line between what's reality and what's an illusion. And if you look at the imagery and you look at, they have a council, they have gatekeepers, then they also have a woman who again is depicted as an African woman wearing all black. She wears an ankh, like you remember her from the first series. She is the gateway deity that transitions. She keeps track of, quote unquote, the dead. So basically she's a manifestation of Ampu or Anubis. It's fucking awesome the way they do this, right? The guy, he kind of looks like a Sith or a dark monk. He's been in a lot of movies. You've seen him in a lot of commercials. I can never remember his name. Bald-headed black gentleman. He's in the all black. He runs the council like he did in the first one. You see him walking with this big book all the time with a lock and key on it, which really is the Akashic Records, right? And he is the one for, again, keeping the glue or the fabric of everything in existence intact. And pay attention to each character that they summons that's part of this. Really what they're showing you is like an intergalactical council that's responsible for keeping things in their proper context and order. And when you look at the character of the Sandman, or AKA the Dream Man, right? His character really, again, you always try to see yourself in a lot of these stories that they're showing you in these series, these movies, etc. That's really a representation of you. Because really what had me amped up watching is what I've been telling you guys for the last, I don't know how long, several months, a year or so or more, whatever, that you've been jumping between different realms. And what this is really showing you now after the first series, how it's showing you this even in more detail right out the gate in these first 2 episodes. The encounter with Lucifer is fucking awesome because I don't want to get too much into it because I want you to watch it. Who has the key or the key to the gates to control what's called hell. And what happens in the 2nd episode when you watch it with Lucifer, kind of gonna surprise you, right? And how they portray Lucifer's role. Well, long story short, this queen that he falls in love with, and remember, as his job and who he is in the spectrum of things, he's not allowed to get involved with mortals. There's a sign to that. Well, anyway, I'm not gonna tell you the whole story with that. And when you look at that in the first couple episodes, ask yourself a question: how does that apply to what I'm learning on the occult and the left-hand path? Right? So, long story short, he tries to re-enter hell because he feels responsible for a decision that this queen he fell in love with made that kind of put her there. I'm not going to get into the specifics for those that haven't watched it or maybe watched the recording of this YouTube video later down the road. So I'm not going to give the spoiler alert. I'm just going to give you some insight. Open your mind up. Go watch it. There's a lot of good shit in there that applies to what we do. Pay attention to the symbols they're wearing, the way they're dressed. Also pay attention when he enters hell. If you remember from the first season, he wears this specific, all right? Sounded like a 5-year-old and shit. Couldn't get it out. Specific. Sorry about that. He wears this specific mask when he enters the abode of Hades or hell. They refer to it as Hades a lot, using the Greek, right? And there's a lot of set energy there when you look at it, because when you look at the mask, it's, as you remember from the first season, is that a big ass fly or bug? What is that? It looks like an alien. Like, why this particular garb that you see? He has to wear all black. He's wearing that mask, and then when he comes before Lucifer, Lucifer says, "Take that silly mask off when you're talking to me." Right? Just peep the vibe. There's so much occult connections. I mean, the first one, obviously, if you go back and watch the video I did on it a couple of years ago, the first season, I can already tell just by watching the first couple of episodes, this is going to take you, even deeper. And pay attention, because a lot of the stuff that I've been telling you, that everything is one continuous moment, how everything is done in cycles or cyclical time, and it's a continuous present moment. The movie is showing you that more. It's showing you how the dream world is woven and brought into existence. Like, you'll see a part, I believe it's in the first of the first 2 I watched, where he's weaving and putting together the dream world, and you see there's no limitations, no restrictions, and he's showing you how the thin line, how everything is connected. And again, pay attention to the jumping and shifting from different realms of existence, right? So the thing we have to understand, as I've been saying for years, the spiritual realm, I'm just using a term that people on a whole can relate to, is interwoven around you. It's not up there, it's not down there, right? That's an illusion. Because what really is going up, as I said, you hear things on certain paths like you're on a path of ascent. See, the wrong thing people automatically think of, that means to go up. No, ascension or ascent doesn't just mean to rise or go up. Figuratively, literally, it's talking about spiritually and growing, right? Mentally, taking those DNA and spiritual leaps, right? When you're on a path of ascent. But somehow they've taken the ascent and they've made you think it's just going up. And what it does is it indoctrinates you and controls your mind that there's the up there and below there. Yes, what comes into play is as above, so below. But it's the next part that really pieces it together. As within, so without. The kingdom of heaven resides within man. These realms reside within you, within your subconscious mind. You have the ability to activate them at any moment when you've trained and disciplined yourself right, and you've absorbed the correct amount of information, and you've processed the correct way how to do that, and you just see it's there's a thin veil which separates the two. So this series does a great job of showing you that. And I'm strongly referring it to people to watch because it's kind of what I've been trying to show you guys, especially for the last several years, right? They know this, and this is why I did a bunch of videos in the last couple of years about them trying to steal your imagination. This will explain to you why they're trying to program you. Because if they could take away the power of your mind, if they could take away the power of you creating via your imagination, then they can control you. So the war and the slavery that they're trying to instill today is mental. They're trying to mentally enslave you by indoctrinating you with their bullshit. Again, just so I'm clear, for those that might stumble, who are you referring to, Baniti, when you say they? Let me be clear. I'm specifically referring to individuals who have gotten together, be that politicians, wealthy individuals in the world who are trying to control money and finances and have all the power. And the only way they can do that is by maintaining the control over the masses and make sure you fit in as a sheeple and a follower so you can do their bidding to keep them in power and control. That's who I'm referring to when I say they. Another term you hear, the powers that be. That's the they. I want to make that clear. Because sometimes people get confused when I say that. And if you don't understand the establishment and the authoritative people that are part of that establishment, most of them, I'm not saying all of them, or the they, then you're confused as to what's going on in the world. The Catholic Church and your religious leaders, they are the they. Your bankers and your wealthy individuals and your investors who have monopolized the retail industry, the banking industry, the real estate industry, they are the they. The ones who have hoarded all the natural resources, they are the they. Okay? Your politicians, your government, I'm not going to get into the debt, but you know what I'm talking. If you can't figure out where I'm going with that, and you're still confused on who the they is, and your place in the scheme of things, then you're lost, people. Because they control you through media, they control you through religious institutions, they control you through educational institutions, and a wide variety of society programs. It's that simple. If I got to explain the they, then you must be brand spanking new on this path, or you're completely clueless to what's going on. One of the two. I shouldn't ever have to explain the they. I just use that term so I don't have to mention all that I just mentioned. So I just want to be clear on that. But the Sandman, Occult Realms and Realities, listen. That's why I titled it this video. It'll do you justice. Now look, it's people that are going to really connect to it, other than just understanding what it's saying, have experienced that. You've been working with the Sandman for a while, because the Sandman, really, there's a connection there. As you look at, I mean, you could correlate him to an aspect of Ampu or Nubu to a certain degree, but I see a lot of set energy there, right? I see, got to really zone in and focus in on it. But pay attention. You'll see in this episode, a little different than they did in the first one, he sometimes appears with long black hair, and then in certain scenes he has the short black hair. You'll understand why I'm saying that when you look. All of this is done intentionally. And it's to see really who's awake, who's paying attention, excuse me, and who's going to catch some of these things they're flashing in front of you. Now again, I'll do a follow-up video to this after I watch the rest of the episodes. I just wanted to touch on kind of what I picked up in these first two episodes. Then I love the way it's filmed. It's awesome. The imagery, the special effects, and how they create these different realms, and how he appears. It's just the way that they do it. Man, as I'm talking about it, it's like I see it. And I went to sleep last night, had some crazy ass dreams. That's a whole nother story. I'm not gonna get into that. And obviously it was affected by watching that, but I've always had vivid dreams. I've always had that ability to get messages in my dreams, to see them clearly. I had a crazy one last night that I had to wake up. I mean, I literally, when I woke up, I had to gather. It was one of them ones you got to get up, sit up on the bed for a little bit, for a minute or two, and gather your thoughts. Because shit, it felt like it was so damn real, and it was almost a struggle to come out of it. But again, it was highly influenced by it. I mean, that was the last thing I watched before I retired to bed last night. So common sense, that definitely had an effect. But it just goes to show you how important the imagination is, how the astral realm, the dream realms are, right? That's really where your point of origin or existence is. They want you to think you're trapped here to this physical realm of person, place, and thing, this three-dimensional realm. When you reclaim your power back, that's their biggest fear, that they can't control you anymore. This is going to show you. It's trying to show you that, right? So anyway, tap in. I'll do a follow-up video on this. I just kind of wanted to get on here, throw that out there, spark this conversation. I'm definitely going to do a follow-up video to this. As soon as I'm done, I'm going to try to see how many episodes I can watch today. But I will try to get the rest of that watched in the next day or two, and I will do a follow-up video. But man, good stuff. So check it out, Sandman Season 2 on Netflix right now. Some of you guys have mentioned other series to me. Send me some emails of a series that you think are in this paradigm. I'll try to watch them and do some breakdowns and videos on them. I know you guys have sent me some. I got shit saved in my box. I just don't have the time, but I'm going to try to make time for some of these because these are worthwhile. All right? Other than that, that's all I got for you. If you need to reach out to me for a spiritual reading, a consultation, classes, any of the aforementioned, the direct link to my email address, the social media pages, the podcast, the direct link to the Primordial Chaos page to sign up for classes. All of those links are in the description box of this video that you're watching right now. That's all I got for you. Hopefully this video helped. I'll see you guys soon. Infernal blessings. We out of here.